I'm Jerry James Stone, and in today's video, once again, I'm not cooking. I'm here to talk to you about why your wine, and by yours, I mean mine, is not vegetarian. I know, right? It's wine, it's grapes. How can this not be vegetarian? But I just want to share this information with you because in case you didn't know, if you're really, really strict about being a vegetarian, you're fucking it up if you're drinking wine. Well, at least most wines. So why isn't your wine vegetarian? Well, let me tell you. There's a couple things, but the main thing is wine, after it's fermented, it goes through this fining process. And the fining process is to remove organic particulates from the wine so that you can better refine the flavor and also the look of it, right? Typically, if you've had a white wine, it's clear, you can see through it, right? Like that white wines or sort of Chardonnay or whatever, like you can see through them. So that fining process is part of that. Something is exposed to the wine and it removes all of those particles so the wine's nice and clear. That's why it's not vegetarian. Those things that they're used in the fining process are sometimes milk derived, or sometimes egg derived, or in the worst case scenario, fish derived. They actually use fish bladders to remove these particulates from your wine. If it's a wine that uses the milk or egg derivative, then hey, that's still in the vegetarian space if you're lacto-ovo, but it's not if you're vegan. And if they use the fish, that's definitely not vegetarian or vegan. So that process for clearing out the wine is what makes the wine not vegetarian. Now, there's not a lot of that residue left over after the wine is fine, but it is still in there. It's still part of the product. So if you're strictly anti-fish, eating fish, consuming fish on any level, then as a vegetarian, you can't drink wine unless you know. So there's a couple ways to get around that. Some wineries actually do sell unfiltered wines. So you'll find white wines or red wines that are unfiltered. If they haven't gone through that fining process, there's a better chance that it actually has not been used in any capacity. Another way is just to get to know the wineries that you buy from. Talk to the people, find out what they use. It's not as common anymore for some of these fish, and for example, they're using more of the egg derived and milk derived ones. But in Europe, there's places that still use bull's blood. The US is one thing, but foreign wines is a whole other thing. So knowing where you get your wine from is really, really important if you are concerned about that stuff on an ethical level. Yes, I said bull's blood. Now here's the thing, that's not happening here in the United States. We actually have stopped allowing that or even letting that wine come into the country because, well, mad cow disease. But seriously, mad cow disease. But once again, if you are vegetarian and you are strict about what you eat, this is something you know. Your wine probably, most likely, if you're buying, a cheap bottle of wine, and by cheap I mean $5 or so, is not going to be vegetarian. So get to know your winemaker, get to know your vineyard, find your favorite spot. If this stuff matters to you, then you'll always be set. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Just drop a comment. If there's something that you want me to talk about, hey, let me know that too. I'm just trying this thing out. This is a new format for me, and I will see you next time, okay?